Don't blink, it's your boy Ink, and welcome to a psychology video. Welcome to a word essay. Welcome to something that I wanted to do. I was in a bad headspace yesterday. So I thought of a video, and again, I was like, nah, don't do it, because it's a touching subject. It is not the greatest subject to talk about, but guess what? I was in a better mood today, and I still wanted to make that video. So you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. This is a video about wage slavery and financial freedom. So what is a wage slave? Is a yeah, I'm gonna get canceled, but fuck it. It's when you talk about a person who is a slave to their to working, or they're living paycheck by paycheck. They're slaves to having this financial debt, for example, credit card debt, for example, student loan, for example. There's so many things that can make you in debt, right? And there's so much freedom. We're talking about Amazon. We're talking about again, we're talking about credit card to be able to buy whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want to buy it, right? And there's a twist to that. The more in debt you are, the more of a wage slave you are. Now, what is insane is how technically how did you get out of wage of being paycheck by paycheck, and can you get out of paycheck by paycheck? Well, most of us can't. I live in Canada, which is crazy because um men I was gonna say mental healthcare is free, but I saw this video a couple weeks ago about a person giving birth to a baby, and the birth was like, I think it was 9,000 to give birth. And of course, we have to account that they might end up not getting that basic package, right? But giving birth, so giving life is now something you have to pay for. Some people, they have to pay for water. I don't have to pay for shit. Right, but still, I consider myself a wage slave because I'm trying to do YouTube, right? But I understand that for now, this is not enough. I'm not even clearly near the fact that I can post and just live post by post, and I know that I'm not near the fact of being able to do a in a position to be completely free. And then I was talking about this guy today, and we're talking about how poverty make the world go round. So poverty and immigration, because when you immigrate to another country, you don't necessarily have a home, don't necessarily have a job, and a lot of immigrants, what they do is they have a couple of jobs, so they have a better wage, and they can afford a better lifestyle, because ultimately, so this is kind of crazy. So we were talking about, me and my friend, we were talking about poverty make the world go round, right? So the poorer you are, the harder you work, and the harder you work, the more of a society you can produce. And I understand that society-wise, we need to be a functioning workshop. We need to be a functioning machine, and for that machine to function, we need a lot of gears. We need people to do certain job. We need people to do every single job. Every single job serve a purpose, right? But then again, we say that, but McDonald's just opened the first completely automatized restaurant. You understand what I mean? So we're talking about poverty, and to me, it's insane because all you have to do, all you have to do, and I'm gonna take Canada as an example because I'm Canadian. All you have to do is give free healthcare, have a good schooling system, and then people from other country will flock in, and by flocking in, they're gonna want it better for the kids. Because you know what? No matter where you come from, no matter your age, no matter your background, if you're a father, if you're a mother, you want the best for your kids. Sometimes doing the best for your kids is my mom, when she was a kid, she immigrated from Egypt, right? And the reason they immigrated for my mom was to have a better healthcare. My grandfather was also very abusive, so that's also a thing. But most of all, for my mom to be a great, to have a good education, my grandma slaved away, and she did her best to earn enough to feed the family, right? A family of one, and she had a hard time making it. And you see, my father in this complete opposite. My father was born here, right? My father is the prime example of what it is to be financially free. My father, when he was growing up, he was working on a farm, so they grew their own crops, they ate their own crops, they had chicken babies, they ate cow babies, which are veals. I'm French, so it takes me a while. You can basically survive on that. But then capitalists hit, and they hit it hard. And the only thing that they had to give Kyrus to work was greed, was a easier lifestyle, an easier life. Because by having an easier life, you don't have to work as hard. And you got this fucked up mentality where you're trying to better your life by making it less hard. But to better your life, you need to spend money. And to spend money, you have to work, right? So we were talking about wage slave and how hard it is to get out of it. And I was talking about with my friends again. They were talking about how you can escape from that wage to wage lifestyle, and we were talking about we're joking around and saying, "Oh, the lottery is a good way," and then it came to my mind that the Bitcoin were also a good way for the Bitcoin to work. The Bitcoin were essentially made a lot of $1 million, but the Bitcoin were actually a orchestrated effort to make certain people very very rich, right? Some people very very poor. So the Bitcoin, how it worked, I did talk about it in a Friday video, but basically, if you have the value of the Bitcoin is the value is what's given. If 1,000 people want one Bitcoin, then the Bitcoin price upgrade. It raises, and the more Bitcoin are in circulation, the more the price raises because the better value it has. If there's one Bitcoin in existence, it has no value. If there's a million, as if there's a million Bitcoin, right, on the market that are bought today, then tomorrow we know the price will go up. It's like every company. The more you sell, the more your stock raises. It's clearly the basic. So a lot of people, they were buying 10 and 100,000 of Bitcoin, right? And they were able to sell it. And of course, some people, they made million, but those people, they bought 100, 200 Bitcoins. We're not talking about 10,000. So this is again people who suffered a loss, because the people who bought one Bitcoin suffered a loss. People that sold all of their Bitcoin, leaving crumbs for everybody else to fight over, they got richer. So even then, it was like, oh, this is your chance to win big. This is your chance to make an investment and investing, right? And again, you're like, holy shit, bro, I'm a I'm in a good position. But it was orchestrated by a group of people that were already very rich to steal from the poor. Yeah, that's a dream. Sell people a dream that they can make $1 million tomorrow, and wonder how many people are gonna answer to that same question. How many people are gonna show up and volunteer to gain that $1 million? I have a friend, another friend. He just bought a car. I'm super happy for him. He's happy. He loves the car, right? The car is 800 per month. That's making him a bigger wage slave, right? And also, like, it's kind of crazy because technically a fine investment was a house, because a house, no matter what, is gonna go higher in property prices. It's gonna go higher in value. And if you buy a car, then the second you take it out of the garage, you lose money. So the only like smart thing you can do is buy living space, to buy in the house market, right? But to buy in the house market, you need to have money, because most of these houses are worth $400,000, $500,000, $1 million. I was looking with there's a guy at work. He was looking for a condo with 2 rooms, $555,000. I make 48 a year, maybe closer to 40. Let's say 40. If the house is worth $555,000, how many years is it gonna take me? If you're good in math, you said 12. If you're not good in math, you probably said 10. 10 years. I'll be 40. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to have kids, right? And then there's other places, there's other things that comes in. Schools. They need to be fed. They need clothes. Bigger wage slave. So all of this to say this one thing. You understand that financial freedom isn't how much you have. It's not how much money you have. It's not how many things you own. It's not how many businesses you own. It's how little you need to survive. If a person can survive, there was a time where, and this is actually fucking unrealistic. I understand that, but this is a true story. I was 20 years old. I didn't have Wi-Fi. I used to download manga. I used to steal manga. I used to steal show from YouTube, download them. I used to steal games, ROM, download them. I just admitted to a crime that was 10 years ago. There's no proof. Maybe this is all a lie, right? I would live on $600 a month. My electricity bill was 40. My rent was 500. Food, I had $60 for the whole month. I would buy ramen. I would buy macaroni and cheese. I would buy fucking Chef Boyardee's. I buy a bag of rice per month. That was enough. That was enough for me to survive on $600. Now, if I'm going back to how much I make, I'm making around 40, between 40 and 48. I don't know exactly. I know maximum 48. And I'm paying $600 per year. That means I would need $6,000, $7,200 per year, right? And then you have to put in. Well, now I have a phone. Now I have Netflix. Now I have Wi-Fi. So let's put it at 800. 800 times 12. It's 96,000. No, 9,600. So we're still making a large profit. So where does all the money goes? Amazon. You think that you have money, you think that you have this financial freedom, so you buy more and you buy more. Because what is the value of money if it's not to buy? Money holds no value, and instead, unless it's spent. When it's spent, it holds value. A $20 bill is spent. It's a restaurant. A $100 bill is spent. It's a super good evening in the bar. But it has value there. So how little you need to survive is how you are happy. But then, if you limit yourself to living a poor lifestyle, then you're limiting yourself and your happiness. Limiting yourself and your happiness shouldn't be a case of how much money I have. Happiness shouldn't be, it shouldn't be a question of how much money I have. And sadly, it is. As always, I love you guys. Peace.